On a world not unlike our own, lived a race of men not unlike ourselves. They, like us, sang stories of the past and would tell and retell the myths of their creation. On this world, a child was conceived. And when this child was born, the planets aligned and the sky stood still, but nobody noticed. No special powers were gifted and no secret knowledge was bestowed. Just an ordinary child who grew into an extraordinary man.
His story, like so many others, does not start at the beginning. Before the age of 23, he thought that his life was ordinary. A teller of tales and a seller of stories, he sang for his supper, his wine, and his women. His lyre was tuned by the gods, so they say, his technique perfected from years of performance. And then one day at the back of the crowd, which had formed as they do, two men began to argue and fight. The crowd turned around to seek out the disturbance, leaving the singer to sing for himself. That night he would dream the blackest dream of all time, and knew that his life as a bard was completed. The very next day, he traded his lyre for a sack full of magic, and set off to wander the wide world outside. He walked for weeks through both forest and prairie, until he came upon a desolate valley where 10,000 souls had surrendered their bodies. Making his way through the remnants of carnage, he pondered the fate of this once powerful army. Caught in a moment of intense contemplation, his body grew still and he began to see visions. The image of a village took root in his psyche. He saw a magnificent temple. Dazed and disoriented, he was unsure from whence he had come. And then, without warning, he suddenly felt a hand on his shoulder. The hands of the deity gave him direction. A short while later, he arrived at the temple and discovered the village in a terrible dilemma. Many of the menfolk simply were dying. He overheard rumors that the gods were unhappy. There was fear in the village that the end was quite near. A few of the elders noticed his arrival and offered a bargain that he could not refuse. He tried to explain that he was only a wanderer, but the death-weary elders overruled his objections. He was given a handful of little white pills. They explained the pills were spiritual medicine, and he unquestioningly swallowed them one after another.